Right, boys, it's really been a long time since I last recorded a video, and diving straight back into it was like a kind of clickbaity video, but you know the deal. I have to do what I have to do, and actually, there is some meaty advice here that is relevant to the title, of course. So, how do I make this as relevant as possible to you? And that's like something that's really been stuck in my mind. I've really been drafting this video like in my mind for a long time. But in a nutshell, for me, it is on self-improvement, or at least the way I've been doing it, if you like. You want to be in this mode where, like, the straight line up. You're not looking for, like, up, a little bit down, up, and a little bit down. You're looking for the straight line up, and very few things, and honestly, probably nothing, is going to be that way. So, making it as, like, clear for you to see. Think about my YouTube channel for a bit. Of course, when I set out to start this YouTube channel, I wanted to see it growing in a straight line upwards. Frankly, by now, I wanted to be on about 1,500 subscribers. That was like the goal on the timeline I had for myself. I've been stuck at 600 for the past 2 or 3 months, and here's where things get tricky. I've been sitting back, seeing that, like, hey, my YouTube channel isn't growing anymore. What should I do? You go into a bit of a mode where, like, okay, maybe my advice isn't relevant. Maybe I should, like, get some editors. Maybe I should do this sort of thumbnail. Maybe I should. And I think it is important to take a step back and realign yourself with the greater picture of this. So, of course, yes, you do want growth. But do you really care if, say, 5 years from now, would you really care if you were on, for argument's sake, 10,000 subscribers versus 11,000 subscribers? Probably not. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit more money that you would have potentially made from it, even subscribers doesn't really determine money directly. But you get the point I'm trying to get to, and in the big image, it won't really make a difference. But what was happening to me, I was sitting here like, okay, well, I need to make some changes in my content. I was like going through stuff like, okay, shall I make this sort of video? And I'm actually now realigning to a point where I'm just going to do whatever is enjoyable to me. Whoever comes along and watches. Whoever doesn't. It's no hard feelings. I mean, it's one of those things. And I think that is a more sustainable approach. And obviously, I'm talking about YouTube now. A lot of you guys wouldn't actually be looking at YouTube in particular. And where I want to bring this applicable to you is studies. A lot of us want to keep at it. We think, and none of us like really stick to this, but we think that, okay, we study every single day, there's big amounts of work. Surely by the time the exams come, we will like know every single thing, we'll be super prepared, get like 95, 100% for the test. And in practice, I wouldn't say never like works that way, but it very rarely works that way. I am one of those students who has been fortunate enough to have had a decent bit of academic success, and it's mostly come from me having. This is not what's gonna, like, most people are gonna want to hear, but sudden bursts of energy where I'm like working really hard, and most of the time, like 70% of the time, I'm doing very minimal work. So I think we actually need to view a lot of life in a similar way. It's not going to be a straight line up. It's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but it doesn't matter. As long as at the end of it all, you see that you've gone up, you'll be fine. Because what was happening, and yeah, this is actually going to go into side that I wasn't really going to discuss, but nonetheless, I think it's good that I'm open with you guys. Obviously, so my success wasn't going up, and I was in 2 months. I said, okay, maybe I should like quit this YouTube channel and all that. And for me, first and foremost, I don't like the idea of ever quitting on something that you set out to do. Of course, in a business scenario, like we have put a lot of capital into this, like a lot of investment into this, then maybe you should quit in the sense that you're losing money by constantly reinvesting more money into it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, this YouTube channel is free. I pick up camera and record. So there's that. But for me, the bigger thing that was also starting to bug me was, I said, okay, well, if I quit this YouTube channel, there's a few boys in my Discord server, by the way, link down below. I often forget to put it there. But basically, they've been relying on me as an older brother, sometimes even a fatherly figure. Sorry, boys, I know there's a lot of background noise. I don't know what's happening in the classroom next to me. But anyway, back to topic. So like they're looking at me as a brotherly, fatherly figure, and I can't just remove myself from their life, in the sense that it goes beyond my success on YouTube and the money I'm hoping to make from this one day. It's a bit deeper than that, and Look, if I had someone round about the age of like when I was 15, 16 helping me out, I wouldn't want them to suddenly just disappear. So by me wanting to stop this YouTube channel, I was actually being a bit inconsiderate, for lack of better words. And that for me kind of is something I'm working on within myself, but that's going to a tangent. For me, the overall message I want to get from this is, wow, that noise is getting a bit much. I actually want to check the audio. I'm sorry, boys, if it's distracting you a bit. But what I want to get to is, don't expect a straight line up. Take time to recuperate. Look, I always preach against video games. Until this day, I still think it should be something that's avoided for the most part. But just being completely honest with you, I'm going to make a more in-depth video on this. But this past week and a half, I've been like taking time off. And of that week and a half, I spent about 2 or 3 days, not the whole day, of course, but a good portion of those days playing video games. I hadn't done that for, I can't remember, like 2 or 3 years now. And at first, it felt wrong. I'm not gonna lie to you, it felt wrong, something I preach against on like YouTube, but also in like day-to-day life, so I felt like a hypocrite. But in playing those video games, I saw that it was a powerful way for me to unwind. Of course, I still recommend you unwind in other ways, like taking walks in nature, spending time with your women, spending time with friends. Those are still better ways, but sometimes your brain needs some variety as well. And that, I think, is where video games come in. And that's why I don't think it should be a primary thing in your life, I really don't. But I do think having it appear every third month or so, maybe every second month, every month even, depends on what your schedule looks like. I do think having it around every now and then is not too big a deal. But I'm going to dive into those chain of thoughts further, like a future video. But yeah, this was like a quick hit sort of video, just to, actually not that quick, 7 minutes long. But anyway, quick sort of video to just bring myself back to the YouTube channel on one hand, but also hopefully deliver some sort of usable, actionable steps and such for you guys. I know the audio isn't good, I'm going to hopefully see if I can do anything about that. But with that said, bros, I'll see you in the next one to become your better man.